We've been preaching this spring playing smart, and that means eliminating discipline penalties, eliminating turnovers and sacks and things that we have in our control. We preach effort, playing hard, straining every single play, and dictating the tempo for a defense. So, we have to be able to, put the pedal to the metal when we feel like we have a defense on their heels, and at the same time, be able to use clock and win a game, towards the end in a 4-minute situation. So if we can do those three things this spring and start developing that identity, that's going to be a successful spring for us. And in terms of the scheme, we're very much multiple, and that's what we're going to continue to be. And we have the ability with our personnel to do different things game by game. So that's the plan. Not only can we practice, we have 2 different squads that we can roll in there and get reps, meaningful reps in live situations. So, now guys are looking around a little bit and knowing that there's going to be competition for every spot. And if we can develop 8 or 9 guys that we can travel with each week in the fall up front, we're going to feel really good about that. Yeah, it's going to be tough to replace Belcher with one guy. And Julian, the nuances of the game that he showed each week, that's going to be tough to replace. But at the same time, we have a group of about 6 guys in that tight end room right now with all different levels of experience. We're big, we're long. We have a few players that are really good inline. They're really great with the hand on the ground. We have more that fit into more of a flex type of tight end. So it's going to be about finding that balance, and that right, match which guys to play together. And so, we have a couple older guys that have been here for 2 and 3 years that have seen, Julian and Drew play over the years. And we have a couple new guys coming into the program as well that, we expect big things out of them early on. We say it all the time in the staff room, we think we have some of the best skill in the conference, if not the country. We lose Micah, but at the same time, I think we had a bunch of guys behind him that were learning. To start with Jaquan Blair, he's tough to defend because you don't know where he's going to be. He's going to line up in the slot, he'll line up in the backfield, he'll line up on the outside, and he's going to be very successful in all of those places. So for him, it's about tightening up his technique, making sure that he's efficient in all of those facets. Devin is a guy whose ceiling he's not even close to reaching yet. He's still learning to play the game of football. So if we can increase his football IQ this year and this spring and have him rep at the running back, the slot, the outside receiver, he's going to be tough to defend. Andre is a guy that came on last year and had 9 catches in the last game, but for him it's about learning the playbook. And we met extra and off season trying to figure it out, and at some point last year it just clicked for him. And he played with a ton of confidence, so we're looking to pick that up, where he left off. And then Ernest is, in my opinion, one of the best receivers in the country. His spring so far has been one of the best springs that I've ever seen a receiver have. He can't be covered. He's got a lot of weapons, a lot of tools, a lot of different releases. He's going to pose a lot of matchup problems. So, for us, it's about putting him in those positions where he can win. We about chemistry and trust. We have a lot of guys returning, but at the same time, we have new players at positions that really hadn't gotten a lot of reps last year. So, especially between the skill positions, it's going to be about developing some sort of chemistry between the quarterbacks and the receivers and the running backs, and really up front, replacing a couple players and developing a set of 5 guys that we feel very confident with. So if we can work that through and really find 11 guys out there that we trust and go out there and make plays, that would be a successful spring. For him, we treat him, like he's going to be an all-conference quarterback. That's the way we coach him. That's our expectation of him. So, this spring we look at his completion percentage. We want that completion percentage to go up significantly. We want that to be around 70% this spring. So we're coaching him up on the types of footballs he's throwing, how accurate he is, placement of the football, going through his reads properly. And then expanding the menu for him, being able to not only, maybe use 75 or 80% of our playbook, but really opening that thing up to 90, 100% of our playbook for him. So, those 2 things this spring so far through 5 practices, he's done a really nice job. We're very much a running back by committee. We're going to find the best balance, the best 2 to 3 guys that give us different options. We know what we have in Fitzpatrick, and we're trying to develop a good complement to him, which we have a bunch of young guys that right now are having a really good spring. So those guys, if they run hard and they understand what they need to do from a pass protection assignment, that's our identity here. We need to run the football, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Execution has to happen. If we go out there and we execute at a very high level, close to 100% of everything that we do, with our weapons, we're really tough to defend. So that's going to be a big deal for us this year.